Are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No.
And we do have a quorum, so that's good. All right. And just for the record, I'm Bill Irwin.
Ken Carter.
Tammy Brennan.
Great. May as well just keep your mics on. This might be no.
Quick.
Not turning them off.
Fastest meeting
Flash
ever.
meeting.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, man.
this could, are we gonna try go for it? Okay, so we did.
Yeah.
So let me just make sure I got. Tammy, and did you say you heard from Nikki? She wasn't coming? Oh, I didn't either.
Anybody but Brenda, and Brenda's not coming.
Yeah, that's, I think, gonna be our biggest conversation here.
Did Nikki go to England or was that
Oh,
another
she
time?
said,
What was that?
Kate's here.
Oh, Kate's here. Okay. I
So-
thought she did say she was going to England at some point. I can't remember
yeah,
if that was
might be
already,
what she's doing. Yeah.
might have happened already.
Let's say she's there because that's great. We'll live vicariously through her. We'll travel to England. All right. Seeing there's no public, anyone online?
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody's here.
Well, we're just a stimulating bunch here.
Yeah.
We are.
Jeez.
All right. So
I
I have to apologize. Our state computer system has a problem and I couldn't get my files out of it. Files that I used recently are resident on my computer, but these I haven't used in a few weeks, so they're not resident. So that's why I couldn't print any minutes. So we'll have to put that off to the next meeting. Okay, so anticipated budget needs.
Oh, that was the select board wanted to know, because they're putting together the budget. If the planning commission, in light of the fact that we're going to begin to revamp or redo the town plan or update, whatever, if there was anything that we foresaw, yeah, needed to go on the budget. They actually wanted to invite you there. But we thought, hey, we'll run it by you
Right.
tonight.
So when do they want to talk about it?
They're working on it. They're gonna be
But you were saying you might invite us to it.
Next meeting is next
the
Wednesday.
28th.
We intend to keep.
Yep.
So the next meeting is on Wednesday, the 28th, due to the Christmas holiday. We weren't putting it on Monday. We want to, we have been going over the last few meetings, the budget, and starting to work through the line items to ensure that it's covered. The idea behind either Tammy bringing a number back or someone representing the planning board, which Tammy's already there, but,
I'm
or
taking
one of you
minutes.
can come, is to speak to what you think you need in the budget to go to town meeting day in March, so that we can get it on the books.
Yeah,
What is our budget right now?
I was gonna get a book. 'Cause I
What
think
is it?
it's the only way to know.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what it is. I will say that I did bring up the
It's not
fact
a
that you
lot.
guys have some,
No.
and I think I'm a year too early or so, but there was going to be potentially a revisit of the planning books and everything and
Yeah, yeah.
such.
Yeah.
Coming up soon, and that may not be this year, but it may be, in the very near future. We need to keep that in mind, or maybe you guys want to start tackling it partially this year and then on the next budget. Hang on, Bill, I'll help you. It's in the racks. There should be some books in the rack. There's some through the door, top of the rack. It's in there. You open. All right, so as I was just saying, regarding the actual zoning and subdivision bylaws and the potential of the rewrite, because you guys do it every X amount of years, we weren't sure if you wanted to budget, start it towards the end of the 2023 season. We know it's coming up, and maybe break that up over the 2 budget periods, or if you needed it all in one. But we just need a number to understand what you may or may not need.
Pretty good amount on hand. So I can't remember how much it was last time, but the way it worked was that there was a grant that we applied for purposes of revising bylaws, and it paid for the Northwest Regional Planning Commission planner to help us.
I think it was 10,000, I think, if I remember right.
Oh, good. I'm glad you remember.
Yeah,
Was it like a matching? Did we have to apply to any?
No.
Yeah, as long as the grant covers enough of it, we'll be good. I have to probably reach out to our rep there, Emily, who can remind me of what it might cost to do it.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Want me to do that? Want me to reach out to her?
wow, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah, why don't you do that?
I've had a
Um,
tough month. I don't want to scare you.
Well, I mean, I just was at a meeting with her
Oh, you're,
last week.
well, yeah,
And
I'll just send her an
but I
email
won't
myself.
won't see her again until mid-January.
Yeah, so when, does anyone know how close we are to the rewrite? I mean.
So I don't even know if we're there yet.
2017,
understood.
2017 was the bylaws and 2018 was the plan. So I think it's 7 or 8 years at least for one of those and maybe 10 for the other.
Yeah, those are like, you gotta do it by then.
Uh-huh.
Any other frequency would be
Allowed.
less and allowed, yeah. So, let me look her up. She, I think, wrote it in one of her emails. And unfortunately, I get a lot of emails from her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's about the municipal planning grant. The FY 23, this was from October 21st. Is due in December. I know at our consultation meeting, we had discussed potentially applying for a municipal planning grant in FY 24. So we're in 23. Yeah. And she just wanted to see if we had any project ideas. And they could be used for town plan, bylaw projects, housing related planning, specific area plans, projects that focus on equity. A single town application plan can be up to $26,400 with a minimum 10% match. So that's what the grant that she was looking at for 23.
So we could get a $20,000 grant.
And then there would be a 10% match.
Yeah,
So we would have to come up with
26.
26 roughly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
5,700 in the books right now, so.
So I would think that the way to look at it is we're not likely to do it this fiscal year because I think it's good for us to take time to, like in March at town meeting, tell people that we're going to revise the bylaws and that if they want to have any changes, they should read them. They should come to a meeting and talk to us about it so that we're aware of what their interests are. And then in FY 24, we can actually begin that. We can get a grant and we could use these numbers as kind of a starting point. It'll be probably in the range of $26,000 to $30,000 and we'll have a 10% match.
It'd be
So,
up to
so the question
3,000.
comes to expecting a $3,000 matching amount for the town of Bakersfield. When you're thinking of your budget, do you want to get some of it this year and then some of it for 24 fiscal year so that it's not getting like all at once? Because you have budget, I mean,
Well, we have
There's-
like Ken said, we have probably 5,700. What do we use?
Does it say what we get every year in there or?
Well, that's what they're determining.
right.
And what, I don't have my,
I don't know.
I know, I think I left it at home.
Might actually, I think they might have it in.
There is a line of them. Yeah, you should see the line.
It was like,
Is that
it was a couple hundred, wasn't it? It wasn't that
It
much.
wasn't that much.
It's not a lot, but it just,
Yeah.
we just keep building it up and letting it,
Because what do we usually spend it on?
we don't really.
Okay.
It's
Well-
only these sort of things. We
There-
have,
yeah.
I think once while I've been here, had to hire an attorney for something. We used it
Yeah,
for
one of
that.
those subdivisions we approved years ago got appealed, and the town had to hire a lawyer, and that came out of our budget, or some of it did, and we didn't have much at that time.
Commission doesn't get paid for a meeting, like the select board.
That's a really great question. I don't have an answer to. How's that? I didn't know the select board got paid, to be honest, at first.
Yeah,
I got told later on, they're like,
They
you
get
didn't
paid
know. I'm
for
like,
meeting.
no, I didn't. I thought it was just like, you volunteering.
I'm gonna ask that.
So does the listers get paid?
The listers get paid?
I believe so, yes.
Well, yeah, the listers get paid for their time, whatever they put in, but I'm thinking, heck,
Planning. Here it is. The planning commission, last year requested 2021, $160 for the budget. The year before it was 500 in 2020, 325 in 2019, and 175 in 2018. So you really do vary it. So
We're big spenders.
13.
how we get up to $6,000?
Just by not spending it. You know, we-
175 a
We
year?
asked for 500 and spend 100. And then we do
Oh,
that every year.
those were our expenditures, that's what you're saying?
Well, that's on page 3, about midway down, planning. Just planning it says, so that is what. That's what. Ankle's kind of messed up here today.
Oh,
Planning right here, page 13. Looking. Down about midway, like right in here, there it is, planning.
yeah,
That is the amounts that were budgeted.
so it's not a lot. And
Not a lot.
we just don't spend it.
Right,
And part of that is because we get grants. The grants
mhm.
cover the
Right.
costs.
That was the question because we weren't sure because the numbers varied so much from year to year. Like one year it's 500, the next year it's 150.
Right.
It's like, we don't want to guess.
Right.
You know, what I mean, usually what we do is we'll get what you spent. And
And then-
enough and
yeah.
match, we'll do the same thing, but because you're your own commission. We figured we give you the opportunity to think about it and come and let us know what you think you need for a budget. And by the way, you don't have to physically be here, you can dial into the Zoom meeting and join that way. But just come and, present what you wish or what you think, and we'll put it on the town budget for this year.
So you said that that's 12/28 at 7 o'clock.
Yep,
Yes.
Okay. So maybe I will call into that. And I would represent that we're not planning anything necessarily this year, but the next year we would. We're looking probably at $3,000 costs to the
Right.
town. And that would be a good thing to be prepared for. We are currently already prepared for that. I mean, we
as
have-
long as we don't have any attorney.
Mhm.
Right, and that, so I think this year we don't need to make anything. Unless there's some costs that were expended and we just want to recoup those.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I figured you guys might know.
I had, most of the expenses actually are in zoning.
Mhm.
She
Mhm,
puts out letters and every one of those
mhm.
costs something, but then she also gets fees which cover that, so that's why we don't spend really any money.
Yeah, I thought we got a chunk of some of those fees, or is that right or not?
That might be how we get some of it.
Yeah. Like subdivision, applications, I believe we were supposed to be getting some of that fee, but
Right,
I don't know who keeps track of that.
okay, so,
So do you think I need to contact Emily, or do we sound like we sort of know already?
I think we're in good shape, because I talked to her after that email and
yeah.
I said, I didn't think we were ready this year to do anything, but the next year we would be,
All right,
and that we weren't aware of any other planning activities. But as I noted earlier, I think we should take this upcoming year to try to make sure that the very clearly, people know that there's going to be a bylaw revision, town plan revision, and that they need to come to
read
us,
the
come
word-
to the meeting
Read the
if
laws.
they want to change. Otherwise, we don't know what they want.
That's good.
Okay.
Just remember in March.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah, I hope I am. It depends on sugar, but
Mm. Snowy or not? And that's an interesting tale of how the year was. And we usually have snow. All right. So zoning administrator,
Brenda's
No.
Sleeping.
zoning
sleeping
administrator.
right now, apparently.
is she still on? She gonna stay?
For the time being.
Because
She said-
you sent out some sort of paperwork, some information about talking to the NRPC about shared zoning administrator.
Yeah, she sent that out.
Oh, Catherine, yeah. Yeah, so we,
Brenda,
Brenda did, okay.
yeah, Brenda sent that out.
It was Catherine's answer, but yeah, it was, it's sort of. Yeah, Brenda didn't really, I thought tonight we'd be talking about it. That's because I got it today, so I thought that's why she had sent it.
Yeah.
but, she's not here.
Okay. But as far as we know, she hasn't put in her notice.
Nope, she hasn't put in her notice. She doesn't intend to do that in the near future, she said.
Yeah, good. Because some of it was dependent on the election, I think, wasn't it? I mean, if she,
I hope she stays because
Yeah.
she's done a good job
I agree.
and not a lot of people have the ability to do that job well. And she's put a lot into learning it.
Mhm.
And so, okay, so no report. All right, so the next meeting is scheduled for the day after New Year's Day. So,
That's in 2 weeks.
January 2nd.
yeah, and I personally, I don't celebrate any of those days around that time frame. I don't go out for anything, so I don't have any reason not to come on the 2nd.
I don't do anything.
Second's not a holiday, is it?
No, it's the day after.
The day after.
Right.
Yeah, no, I can.
So everybody's good with that?
Mhm.
All right. So as far as,
agree.
just put a 3 at the end of that. 1/2/2023.
Mhm.
I can't believe we're almost a quarter of the way through this century already.
I know.
It seemed like it was just a few years ago, we were worried about
Y2K.
Y2K. It's exactly it. Yeah. Jeez. Wow. To see the 2-3 there is pretty impressive.
Crazy.
Yeah. I remember as a kid thinking, what am I going to do when I'm in 2020? I'm going to be running from COVID-19.
How'd you know?
So, is there anything else? Does anybody else?
Nope.
No,
Motion to adjourn?
So we have a motion to adjourn.
second.
And second by Ken. Any, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it passes unanimously. And we adjourned at, wow, that's pretty good.